Hi YouTube, Jeff Lindsay in the garage, Sunday the 25th of March. March is just about gone. It's been a couple of weeks. Had a lot going on. We left off with the driver's side patch being welded on in the last video, and we never did even come back and dress the welds. We just kind of stayed out of the shop. We had our son home for 7 days. We took a trip to the Gulf, a 4-day trip down there, did some fishing, enjoyed ourselves, and now it's time to get back on the car. We had a good little vacation there, so we're going to flip the car over and try to get everything seam sealed that we need to seam seal on the underneath side before we do anything, before we put the gas tank in, before we do any brake lines, fuel lines, stuff like that. That's the plan for today. Got in a new grill. If you remember, the old one did not have the trim, so we had to buy a grill because we couldn't buy that separate. We thought about trying to make it, but this thing was $139 free shipping. So, and it's actually for 70 or 71 instead of the 72, and it's got the smaller rectangles, and I like that look much better than the 72 grill and 73 grill. So that's the deal. I like that one a lot better. YouTube, got the shop cleaned up, things moved around a little bit, got the car flipped over. Where we did our overlap on the tunnel, this is welded up solid on the top side or on the inside of the car, but we're also going to seam seal right here good all the way to the front and make sure that moisture can't get up in there and get started doing its ugly thing. Where the floor pans went together on the back part back here, it's welded up solid on the inside, and the Raptor liner sealed it up pretty good, but we're going to actually brush over this. I'm not really worried too much about how it looks under here, but we're going to brush over that. And we probably, just in these areas right here, where we're going to seam seal down through here, I'm probably going to hit that again with on top of the seam sealer with more Raptor. This has been done for quite a long time. There's no signs of any kind of peeling, rusting, anything. I mean, it looks just as good as it did the day that we put it on here, and I'm extremely happy about that. We will come in the fender well areas. I'm going to seam seal that joint there. Anywhere where it looks like moisture, obviously right in here where we put the drop off and we got this all welded in, it's sealed with Raptor from the top, and I sprayed it on the bottom, but again, there's just a touch of an opening in places. We're going to put seam sealer in the back. We're going to go all the way across and just put it everywhere it looks like moisture can migrate in there at some point in time. We're going to put seam sealer in there. So we got that little area there taped off, and again, in these other areas we'll probably brush it. I had this area right here taped off where that subframe mounts, and I've got a little skin mark right there, so I'm going to touch that up a little bit, probably with some epoxy or paint, either one. But that's just where that area is right there where the subframe mounts there, and of course here. But everything looks real good underneath the car. I don't see anything that revisiting this thing. It really looks good. Our little cage nut clips there, we're going to take all these out and soak them in some epoxy. We're going to coat them real good because I did not do anything to those the first time, but before we put them back together, we'll have those looking pretty sharp too. So like I say, everything else looks really, really good up underneath the car. Extremely happy with the way the Raptor liner is looking. So we'll get busy with some seam sealer and see how it turns out. All right, we'll bring you back. All right, tubers, we got seam sealer in here, and we've got it mashed down good with a little spatula, a little 3M spatula. And we're gonna pull this tape and just see, do it in real time so you can see just what I'm seeing. And hopefully this is gonna work out and be pretty good, maybe. We can keep from making a dang mess. And we'll just take that right on over to the trash can. Swing back over and pull the other one. And we didn't give this much time, maybe about 5 minutes. I think the longer you wait, the worse it's going to be when you pull the tape off. First time I've really done a joint like that with the tape, so that's kind of what we ended up with. Pretty good looking joint of seam sealer there. And we'll do this back section the same way. We'll go ahead and pull it. And I guess it really don't matter what it looks like up underneath the car. It's not going to be going across any cameras anywhere. Of course, that wouldn't be the way you do it no way if it was going to be a show car. But it's far from a dang show car, I can assure you. But I like the way that works out. I've seen it done on YouTube a little bit. And that looks good to me. I like it. Like the way that turned out. And that'll seal that joint up good. And then again, like I say, I think what I'll do is just come back over that, all these joints, one more good time with Raptor liner. One more little light coat over that. And that should ensure me a good seal on the underneath side of this car. Hopefully no water's going to get in anywhere. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go around our rocker areas and we're going to really gob it in there good. Not going to worry about taping anything off. And then when we flip it over, we're going to come in there on the inside and do all that area also. And that's where the floor pans went together up against the rocker panels. So that's kind of what it turned out to look like there, and I like it. It looks like a good seam through there. So as we have some more and do some more, we'll turn it back on and let you look at it. All right, dude. All right, YouTube. That's pretty much got the driver's side. We're gonna flip it over and start on the passenger side, but just to bring you along, we seam seal where the floor pan, rocker, and all goes together. We smushed down in there and kind of brushed it in all the way down pretty well. We got everything and probably got some stuff that didn't need seam sealer covering. That's all right though. Got our seam right in the middle. Squeezed it down in there good and tight. Our seam right there where we put our deal in there. And we'll do that other one up there as well when we flip it over. Everything else is sealed up real good that I can find on this side, driver's side. So we'll flip it over. We'll start on the other side. We'll do it the same way. But I'm just hoping that, sure enough that this will just make it watertight pretty good, you know. I mean, it'll probably find a way to get in somewhere, but that's all right. We're going to do the best we can with what we got and what limited knowledge of this I've got. So that's what it's looking like so far. Just coming along trying to seal up the bottom of this car as best we can. We'll flip it over and get started on the other side, and we'll finish it up. We'll bring you back. All right, tubers. The Camaro is pretty well sealed up underneath. I'm not really sure 100% how watertight. I know in the back of these rockers, I don't need to plug these holes and stuff. I think that's pretty much all I need to worry about as far as drainage goes. But anyway, We got the back where the trunk pan was put in. We sealed it good, even though it was welded all the way across good and had Raptor on it. We went over with this. We got our trunk drop-offs where we replaced those. Both fender wells are done pretty well. Pretty much everything that I can think of and everywhere that I could see might be an issue, we sealed it up. So that's kind of what we was after today. Get this much of it done. Give that sealer, seam sealer, plenty of time to cure before we do anything else. And I think that's it for right now on seam sealer. I don't think we're going to do anything else till we flip it over and go in on the inside and just double up on it and make sure we don't have any water coming in. So that's where we're at. That's kind of where we at. I like it. Looks good. Looks pretty good to me. Wish it stayed like that. I'm sure it's gonna get nasty. That'll be a while. All right, tubers. We'll do something else and bring you along. All right, tubers. Maybe it doesn't show up, but we went ahead and seam sealed all the way down and back up where we knocked out all that back in there. On both sides, we run a bead all the way, sealing the floor pan to the rocker area on the inside of the car. We've got both sides now, bottom and inside the car, a good thick bead. We really squeeze that stuff down in there good, so hopefully that'll do it on seam sealer. Trying to think anywhere else. I think we've got it all done pretty good. Both sides. You can see we went up there and run us a good bead everywhere. So that should seal it up good, which there wasn't much as far as a crack or anything. I mean, the floor pan was good and tight to the rocker, but that stuff there will get on in there, seal up if there's any places, you know, they was a little bit, right, a little bitty tiny gap right in there somewhere on both sides, but it's sealed up good. So sealed up good front, outside and inside. So that's kind of where we're at. We'll bring you back. All right, YouTube. Still Sunday the 25th, and we have caulked up everything but the kitchen sink. Hopefully we got it all. I can't think of, I mean, I just looked all over the car and caulked up everything I knew, you know, to caulk up, and probably caulked up some stuff that I shouldn't have caulked up. But anyway, that's what we did. Next weekend, 4 days, we'll get a lot done. Rusty calipers, we got to take them off and do something with them. Gas tank, brake lines, get all that done, get the car ready to go back on the ground where she needs to be. Can't think of much else other than thank you. Appreciate you watching the videos always. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you're new, they get better. I promise you. This was a bad video. We didn't do a lot, but what we did had to be done. So next weekend we should get a lot done, hopefully. Give you one more shot of the new grill. Ooh, that thing's pretty. All right, YouTube. Have a good week. We will be back next weekend with some more drama. All right.